Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. We're your host, CJ and Jared. And in this video, we're going to be doing a pregame of the Ravens versus Buccaneers, the Monday Night Football Showdown. It's going to be happening this October 21st on ESPN. And so, just to sort of, get into my early thoughts about the game. It's going to be a very explosive offensive battle, I believe. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield has been having a career season so far. In terms of their offense, they sort of have a running back by committee. I believe they use Rashad White, and they have this other running back. I think his name is like Bucky Irving. It's Irving, his last name is Irving, so it's like Bucky something, or no, or Bruce Irving, something like that. But they sort of have a running back by committee. Um, I remember I feel like they want to lean more on Rashad White, but maybe he's just, doesn't really, put them over the edge like that in terms of with their running game. But, you know, we need the main focus is their receivers, and that's Mike Evans, that's Chris Godwin. Um, and that's about it. I think they still have Cameron Brate at tight end. I'm not pretty sure, but they have a very good 1-2 punch when it comes to the receiving. And they have decent tight ends to do the job on offense. So I think this is a great test for the secondary. Mike Evans can just take the top off of defense, being, very slim and tall like how he is. He's also very physical. And, you've seen those battles he's had with Marshawn Lattimore. Those are very physical battles. It's not often that you see a receiver, his frame be very physical, and that's exactly what he is. So I would say, that he fits more so Marlowe's playing style. I really like to see Marlowe, on Mike Evans, both, a physical receiver and a physical corner going at it all game. I think that would be a great matchup. I think Brandon Stevens is more so better suited um, on Chris Godwin. He can go deep too and take the top off the defense, but they more so have him doing intermediate routes, kind of, those shorter routes or midfield routes going across the middle of the field. So I like to see, Brandon Stevens or maybe Trent Simpson on him. So I think, that is a very, very big test for the defense. Can we contain those guys? In terms of the offense, I imagine the Ravens offense scoring a lot of points. This Buccaneers defense isn't what it once was 4 years ago, when they had Levante David and Devin White, and Ndamukong Suh, and all of those guys, Shaq Barrett, this is a very different defense, and Todd Bowles still has that defensive, mindset DNA, that he carries on to any team that, he coaches or is the defensive coordinator or whatever. But so it is going to be kind of tough, but I can imagine the Ravens offense just pouring on points. I really can, especially we get Derrick Henry going, we get that play action RPO going. Our guys are going to eat, I feel like. One thing that I'm curious about is if Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to play, because he's one of the best safeties in the game. But obviously we'll look more at that, when we get to the team stats and whatnot. But, what are just your early thoughts about this game, both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I guess I'm not too familiar with the Bucks. Obviously, we haven't played them in 2 years, but that was a whole different team, it felt like, this is when they still had Brady, and others and but they put up a good fight last year in the playoffs, when it came to, when they beat the Eagles and then they came close to the Lions, but so far this year, I think they've scored a lot of points. I know they had that fireworks show in Thursday Night Football a few weeks ago versus the Falcons. The Falcons ultimately won that game, but they looked good. So Baker loves playing this Ravens defense. It seems. Only defense he didn't like playing was Mike McDonald's defense. It seems like, but you give him some adequate weapons, and Baker can cook. No pun intended. So I think that I think he like in 2018, I remember some stats like we only had like two or three games where we allowed 300 yards passing, and Baker was two of them. That year. There was something ridiculous like that. So Baker can cook. So but he got out of that crappy Cleveland situation. So but our offense is on a roll right now. and I think that they can handle that Buccaneers defense. Like you said, they don't have a lot of the guys that they used to. It's a very different defense, and if Antoine Winfield won't be playing, which we don't know yet, then that's going to be huge. For us, not for them, but it's going to be huge for us. So this is probably one of our most interesting challenges of the season. Because I don't know exactly how to gauge the Buccaneers. Exactly. But I will say our defense is really going to have to, our secondary especially, they're going to have to they're going to have to lock down this game.
Oh
They
yeah.
can't let guys eat on Monday night. They just can't. They put up 51 points last week. Now, granted, it is the Saints defense, and the Saints defense is Swiss cheese, but they still have those capabilities. And we have a lot of busted coverages. It seems like this year the Ravens have allowed that a lot. So our defense is going to be up to the task. So but again, I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up losing this game just because of that fact, where our secondary just won't lock in, so it's going to be up to Vernon Stevens to get his hands on the ball today on Monday. When I mean, the fact that he's there all the time, he's there, he just doesn't turn around. So it's going to be important for him. T. Higgins ate him alive a few weeks ago because of that fact. He didn't turn around. So it's going to be up to him to kind of make some plays, not turn around. And then same thing with Marlowe, turn around, make a play. I've trusted Marlowe a little bit more than Brandon, but Brandon, he has the potential to be a really good cornerback if he just learned how to have ball skills. I mean, for real, like honestly, so very interested to see where Wiggins is going to play. I mean, Wiggins was a starting corner last week. Let's not forget that. He started the game as starting corner. So the Ravens have a lot of faith in Wiggins, So I think this game is really going to do. Honestly, to me, the most important thing for me is you can't let the middle of the field be wide open again this week. I feel like every freaking pass that Jaden Daniels was making wide open guys, it was right in the middle of the field. So Roquan, Trenton, Cahinham, all these guys, they're gonna have to control the middle of the field. They really are. So that's in my opinion what they're gonna have to do because they could not let Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and others eat tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow. It's not Sunday. I mean, I meant Monday.
For sure, for sure. And I'm just eager to see like what's their, offensive stats and stuff like that is, honestly. I'm just
Yeah.
eager to see. I know it has to be like I know they have to be like top five.
All right. Well, we want to get right into the stats.
Let's go.
All right. So,
That was a great segue.
hell yeah, that was that was TV level worthy right there,
Yeah.
or movie level worthy, as you can say. Anyways, to move on here to the overall statistics for the Buccaneers, their offense averages 29.7 points per game, which is second in the league. They are average 367.2 yards per game, which is ninth in the league. They average 0.493 points per play, I'm sorry, which is first in the league. They average 6.1 yards per game, which is yards per play, I'm sorry, which is sixth in the league. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, you kind of froze a little bit there, but it's back. It's good now.
It said my internet was unstable, so hopefully that doesn't pop up in the video. But anyways, if you can hear me again, then I'm just going to continue. On the third down, conversion percentage is 47.6, 0.06, I should say, which is fourth in the league. They don't convert a lot of third downs. It's only 33.33%, which is 26th in the league. And their 65.22% scoring, red zone scoring percentage, is at ninth in the league. And they average 3.5 touchdowns per game, which is second in the league. So that's almost 28 points right there. So, their rushing statistics, they run the ball 42.94% of the time, which is 19th in the league. They average 5.3 yards per rush, which is fourth in the league. They average 25.8 yards per game. I mean, rushes per game, which is 20th in the league. They average 100. You think that the rushes per game and the rush play percentage would kind of be the same, like when it comes to like what they would rank? And not it would, but I guess maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, their rush yards per game is at 136.8, which is eighth in the league, and the rush touchdowns per game is at point 0.8, which is 16th in the league. Their passing statistics, they throw at 57.06% of the time, which is 14th in the league. They have a 70.90% completion percentage, which is fourth in the league. They average 7.9 yards per pass, which is seventh in the league, and they average 31.5 passes per game, which is 17th in the league. They average 230.3 yards pass yards per game, which is 11th in the league. Their 2.65% interception thrown percentage is 23rd in the league. So Baker will turn the ball over. And QB sack percentage is at 8.25%, which is 23rd in the league. So our pass rushers got to eat this game, especially you, Yannick Ngakwe and Owe. We got a lot of ways on our team.
Yeah. And we got a long way to go to get that defense back up.
Yep.
But going into the defense, opponent points per game is 23.5, which is 19th in the league. Opponent yards per game is 365.7, which is 26th in the league. So they allow a lot of yards. Opponent points per play, 0.347, 13th in the league. Opponent yards per play, 5.4, which is 15th in the league. Opponent third down conversion percentage, 37.18, which is 17th in the league. Opponent fourth down percentage, 66.67, which is 21st in the league. So we're gonna have very, high level opportunities we're gonna go for on fourth down, it seems like. Opponent red zone scoring percentage, 48%, which is 12th in the league. Opponent touchdowns per game, 2.5, which is 16th in the league. Their rushing defense statistics, opponent rush play percentage, 35.47, which is fourth in the league. Opponent yards per rush, 4.7, which is 24th in the league. Opponent rushes per game, 24, which is ninth in the league. Opponent rush yards per game, 113.3, which is 11th in the league. And opponent rush touchdowns per game, 1.3, which is 27th in the league. Opponent their defensive passing statistics, opponent pass play percentage is 64.53, which is 29th in the league. Opponent completion percentage is 64.90, which is 17th in the league. Opponent yards per pass is 6.7, which is 12th in the league. Opponent passes per game is 40.8, which is 31st in the league. Opponent pass yards per game is 252.3, which is 28th in the league. Opponent interception thrown percentage is 2.4, which is 17th in the league. And sack percentage is 6.49 for 22nd in the league.
I think the one thing we could take away from this is that the offense can really eat this game. Honestly, I mean, a lot of these statistics for their defense are not impressive whatsoever. So I think that this is a really good opportunity for some stat padding on our offense. But as long as we don't overthink it, that's what the Ravens love to do sometimes. They love to overthink things. So maybe they should just keep it simple and run the damn rock, which is what teams do very well. Well, I wouldn't say very well. In fact, I think maybe this could be a passing game for the Ravens. So I wonder how much of this passing defense has to do with Antoine Winfield not playing, right? I mean, you'd have to think so, right?
I don't think he is playing, no.
Right. So I kind of want to see the Ravens statistics really quick. Damn, look at that offense. 4-1-8-1-1-5-1-2-1-1-1. Look at the rushing statistics. Those passing statistics are still pretty low, I guess, but 248 yards passing per game. Jesus, look at the pass defense. 30, 21, 28, 29, 31, 22, 10. But the rushing ones are good though. So, but anyways, but like I said, with the Buccaneers, this offense has got to eat, honestly. Any way they can, they got to eat. So that's kind of my prediction there. But anyways, to move on to individual player statistics, to go on their offense, Baker Mayfield is 134 for 189. That's good for a 70.9 completion percentage for 1,489 yards, 7.9 yards per attempt, 248 yards per game, 15 touchdowns on 5 picks. So, and he's been sacked 17 times this year. So, like I said, this defense has to get to Baker Mayfield, close the lanes, make sure he doesn't escape the pocket, and sack Baker Mayfield. He has 109.4 quarterback rating too, so or passer rating, whatever you want to say. So he's doing very, very well this year. But anyways, the guy Bucky Irvin you were talking about has 58 carries, 328 yards, 5.7 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns, 54.7 yards per game. Is it Rashad?
Rashad.
Rashad. Oh, I bet you some people probably call him Rashad. Anyways, Rashad White Has 51 carries, 187 yards, 3.7 yards per carry, and no touchdowns, and 37.4 yards per game. I guess our third running back here, Sean Tucker, has 16 carries on 143 yards, 8.9 yards per carry. He has one touchdown and 23.8 yards per game. The receiving leaders, Chris Godwin has 43 receptions on 53 targets, 511 yards, 11.9 yards per catch, five touchdowns, and 85. It averages 85.2 yards per game. Mike Evans has 25 receptions on 42 targets, 310 yards, has 12.4 yards per catch, also has five touchdowns, and averages 51.7 yards per game. Cade Otton has 19 receptions on 31 targets, 163 yards, 8.6 yards per catch. He has a touchdown and averages 27.2 yards per game. Whatever you say, Rashad, right?
Rashad.
Rashad. I like how I said, I bet you someone says it like this, and then I immediately said it like that. Anyways, he has 17 receptions on 19 targets, 127 yards, 7.5 yards per catch, no touchdowns, and 25.4 yards per game. So, to prevent me from looking more of an idiot, I'm gonna let you read the defense here.
So we have Levante David. He's played in all games. He has 46 total tackles, 29 solo, 17 assisted, has three sacks, has three tackle for loss, has three pass deflections, and has one interception. So he's having a Pro Bowl season so far, and he's honestly considered an older linebacker. So that's kudos to him.
Hmm.
Jamel Dean has 43 total tackles, 33 solo, 10 assisted. He has four pass deflections. Jordan Whitehead has 43 total tackles, 30 solo, 13 assisted. He has one tackle for loss, three pass deflections. KJ Britt has 33 total tackles, 19 solo, 14 assisted. He has a half a sack. Um, that's it for him. Tyke Smith has 33 total tackles, 22 solo, 11 assisted. Has two tackle for loss and four pass deflections as well as one pick. Christian Ezine has 30 total tackles, 20 solo, 10 assists, one tackle for loss, three pass deflections, and one interception. Zion McCollum has 27 total tackles, 18 solo, nine assists. He has 10 pass deflections and two interceptions. So that's a Pro Bowl season right there, low key. Um, Servakia Dennis has 22 total tackles, 14 solo, 8 assists, has one sack, one tackle for loss. Um, Yaya Diaby has 14 total tackles, 10 solo, 4 assisted, one sack, three tackles for loss. Vita Vea, he's definitely a guy we're gonna have to watch out for. He's a game
Yeah.
wrecker. And he's been one for years too. He has 12 total tackles, eight solo, four assists. He has three sacks on the season. He has five tackles for loss, one pass deflection. Anthony Nelson has 12 total tackles, seven solo, five assisted, two sacks, two tackles for loss. Logan Hall has 11 total tackles, seven solo, four assisted, three sacks, three tackles for loss, and he has a pass deflection. And Antoine Winfield Jr. has 11 total tackles, four solo, seven assisted, and one pass deflection. So, their defense they're ball hawks. They get a lot you see those, a lot of guys have interceptions. We have one guy with multiple ones, but just the interception ratio is spread it amongst all of them. So definitely going to watch out for that.
Yep. Let's see. Any injury updates for them? So he's questionable. Palmer's questionable. Ram. So a lot of these guys are questionable. But I don't exactly know for sure what their status is as the injury reports haven't been happening this week. It's only Wednesday. It was only Tuesday, actually. I'm sorry. So, um, yeah, I'm just gonna continue to say it. I mean, his offense has to eat in this game, but it won't be easy, but some of these this defensive statistics for the Buccaneers, it seems like there's no question that we should, honestly, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And we're definitely going to have to watch out, for their ball hawk corners like Jamel Dean. Antoine Winfield Jr. They definitely are ball hawks. Jamel Dean has always been known as a ball hawk, and he can return it back too. So, I trust Lamar though. He's been very careful with the football,
Yeah.
taking care of it very well, not turnover prone. So, I do trust that our offense can eat. I trust that Zay and Bateman can get going. I feel like, this game, we gotta let Likely eat. It's been a couple weeks, since he's last had a great game. I feel like, he can be the element surprise kind of, for the Buccaneers, towards the Buccaneers defense. But
Hmm.
also, Falele has to have a great game, because Vita Vea is a big dude. I can imagine we might double team him a couple plays. He is also a great run stuffer. So, Vita Vea is going to be, he's going to be one of the keys to the game. You got to control him. It all starts with him. If you can't get past him, then it's just not going to be a good night trying to get past those ball hawking safeties that the Bucs have. So one of my keys to the game is the O line has to be on their P's and Q's. They got to block Vita Vea. They got to block. They got to block. Just got to block. I mean, because we saw it, their linebackers have sacks too. And we know how aggressive a tall Bow's defense is. So they're going to be very aggressive. They're going to try to blitz Lamar. That's been the thing about Lamar to stop him, blitz him, have a lot of people in the box. They're going to try to do that. And they have the personnel to do that. So it all starts with the O line, block well, protect Lamar, let's establish a running game, and that will lead into the passing game and the screen game like how we like to do.
Yep.
That's my key to the game right there. And obviously
Yeah.
on
Oh,
defense,
and
you gotta, I'm sorry, but obviously on defense, just, gotta stop Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So yeah.
I think both trenches are going to be very important, offensive and defensive. I feel like I say this every week. You got to win the trench battle. You can't not win that battle and expect to win. And honestly, the Ravens missed out on a few turnovers. They've missed out on a few turnovers the past few weeks. They gotta catch some of these picks. I mean, Nate Wiggins missed two picks versus the Bills. Ardarius Washington missed a pick versus the Commanders. So if the ball's coming to you, catch that thing, man. You can't give the other team an opportunity to live another down or have a chance for them to pin us back on a punt. If it's a third down, don't drop it. Catch that thing and try to get some yards out of it. Or if you can't get back up, then stay there. And turnovers are very much game changers. So keep your foot on the gas pedal if you take the lead early. And if you're leading late, don't stop. Because Baker can lead comebacks. Especially with the weapons he's got. It's probably one of the better teams he's had. When it comes to receiver wise, obviously he's had Jarvis Landry and OBJ and others. As his career in Cleveland, but it's definitely one of the better teams he's had. So like he can cook. I said that earlier in this video. It's really not but it's like really no pun intended here. But he can cook. So I think that if our receivers can stay on him, because there's not like a lot of speedy guys in their team. They have really good hands. I mean, especially when I'm thinking about Mike Evans as well. So it's gonna it all. I would really like to see our pass rush eat this game. Honestly, I mean he's been sacked 17 times this year already. So their offensive line obviously probably isn't as good as it used to be. Then again, I'm not too sure, but it doesn't seem like it with giving up 17 sacks. So get to the quarterback, please.
I agree. That we definitely gotta, sack Baker, take away some downs from them, and just keep going what we got going on offense. So, I'm honestly ready to get to score prediction. I've been thinking this whole time and you were, sort of giving your keys. I imagine this game being 37-34.
And we got a shootout.
Yeah.
All right, so I think the Ravens are going to win, and I think they're going to win 33 to 25. 33-25.
I like that score. I like that score, 33-25. And
That was
just to clarify, I believe the Ravens will win too. I didn't
oh
say
yeah.
we will. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I funny enough, I said that we'd win 30 to 23 last week or 27 last week. So I was close. So hopefully we win again. I just have a feeling the Ravens defense still just gonna look a little iffy. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
yeah, like, I really have a feeling about that. Like I really do feel like the Ravens secondary is just gonna look a little iffy, and our pass rush isn't consistent, honestly. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe it's a game where they lock in. But it seemed like the defense's turning point in 2022 was versus the Buccaneers. And then they got Roquan the next week. So maybe this is a turning point this week, and then we get, I don't know, freaking Max Crosby next week. I don't know, but we probably won't. But I don't know. I want to see improvement. I think there are improvements here and there, like the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks. No, we played the Commanders, or we played the Bengals the week before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will say the last few drives for the Bengals, and then the whole game versus the Commanders. I think the defense played a little better. It's incremental process, in my opinion, but it's still not up to par with how we kind of expect it to be, especially with how that secondary is being paid. I say that shit every week. The secondary is getting paid way too much to be buns, but I think they
Um,
win still.
yeah, and that's 37-34 and 33-25. Like Jared said, hopefully that secondary can tighten up, to compensate for the amount of money that we've been paying them. So, this would be a great week to start. But I think that's all we got for you guys in this video. Hopefully we can get that Ravens win. Another primetime game. You can just tell the NFL and NFL fans just love Ravens games. It's always an exciting game watching the Ravens. And, we're definitely, spoiled as Ravens fans to have such a great team to
Yeah,
watch. So,
yeah,
let's
that's. I kind of wanted to say this in the post game video with the Commanders, but like, it's getting to the point where it's like it's time to start appreciating these Ravens right now, because
yeah.
I mean we don't know what our team's gonna look like next year, and we don't know what our team's gonna look like going forward. Like this, for all we know, this is the peak Ravens offense under Lamar. Hopefully it continues to get better, but we don't know. And we don't know if Lamar's gonna even continue to get better. Maybe this is peak Lamar as well. We don't know how much time Lamar has playing, under center. I mean, he's in year 7, which is crazy to say. So very interested. I'm very appreciative of Lamar and what he's done. He seems to just be coming like it kind of irritates me. Just it feels like he wasted some years under Roman, honestly, especially the last two, in my opinion. But I think after 2021, I would have let go on Roman, and then 2022, 3 and 4 would have been Tom Monken, offensive explosion, hopefully, but because we would have been what year 3 of Monken already. So, um, I don't know, it's really time to appreciate the Ravens and what they're able to do right now because they look really good.
Yeah, I agree. And hopefully the longevity is able to stay with us, like how it's
Hmm.
been, with the Chiefs and the Patriots over the years and even the Colts when they had Manning. Hopefully we can, get that to stay with us as well. But, like I was saying, let's cheer on our guys. They're going to Tampa Bay. Hopefully they get the dub. But that's all we got for you guys in this video today. Make sure you like, and subscribe, comment on this video. What are your guys' score predictions? Who do you think is gonna have a big game this upcoming Monday? What do you think the Braves need to, look out for? Let us know down below in the comments. Also, make sure you follow, and like and comment on our social medias, our Instagram. Jared's Green creating some great graphics on there. Make sure you check those out, like on them, comment on them. Our Twitter, make sure you follow our Twitter. Make sure you follow our TikTok. Got great content on there as well. Got some vlogs from the Orioles game that Jared went to, a playoff game as well. Can't forget that. Even though we didn't get the results we wanted to, I say this every video, but we didn't get the results we wanted to, but it was still a great vlog, nonetheless. And also make sure you check out our second channel, Casual Cinema. Got some great reviews up on there. Make sure you like and comment on those. And we're Bird Spray Sports, and we're out.
Well,